Yo, it's your boy Smoke with the Madden video. Today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of a comparison. We're going to do Bucky Irving versus Rachaad White and see who the better running back is in Tampa Bay. Bucky Irving only being a rookie, and he's already jumped up himself to an 81 overall in Madden. He still has hidden development trait. Bucky Irving has been one of the best rookies so far. I mean, obviously, people like Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams have performed better, but still, and Brock Bowers, but still, an amazing rookie year for Bucky Irving. Like really good, and he is earning the way in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans' heart really early. Rachaad White doing pretty good too. Kind of started a little bit lackluster, but he's Rachaad White's really picking it up as well. So things are looking good for Tampa Bay, and definitely these two running backs are key contributors to that explosive Tampa Bay offense we are seeing. So in the first game, with just having Bucky Irving as the starter, they lose 13-35 against the they lose 13-35. Only able to put up 13 points, even though Bucky Irving was the higher overall. It's a little shocking, but the Washington Commanders were able to put up 35 points. So let's go and see how that happened. Jaden Daniels with a passer rating of 102.9, 181 yards, one passing touchdown. Baker Mayfield with 142 yards and one passing touchdown, one interception. Baker Mayfield was sacked a total of 3 times. Brian Robinson, 74 yards on the ground, no touchdown. Bucky Irving, 48 rushing yards and no touchdown off 14 attempts. Also, by the way, guys, I completely got rid of Rachaad White. I made his overall 0, then cut him. I'm gonna do the same thing when it gets to Rachaad White season, and we got to get rid of Bucky Irving. Just a little simulation to see who does better. All right, in the midseason point with just having no Rachaad White and Bucky Irving, so just Bucky Irving as their starting running back. They are 2-5 at the midseason point against the Atlanta Falcons is the next game coming up. So not that great. Obviously not with what we have been seeing from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. They have kind of shocked quite a few people. Like I don't think people it's not like people were going to say they were going to be horrible, but people didn't think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would be this good. Baker Mayfield, 1,444 yards, 10 passing touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, a completion percentage of 63%, passer rating of 88.7. He's been sacked a total of 15 times. Bucky Irving with 350 yards and 1 rushing touchdown and 1 fumble, so pretty bad for Bucky Irving. Baker Mayfield, 120 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown. So again, this is just a Madden simulation, but this is the halfway point. It's not looking great for Bucky Irving so far. Mike Evans, he has 328 yards and 3 receiving touchdowns. Sterling Shepard, 4 receiving touchdowns, 298 yards. Cade Otton, 272 yards and no receiving touchdowns. Jalen McMillan, 256 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Bucky Irving, let's see if he's getting involved much in the passing game. Not really, with 158 or 150 receiving yards, but no receiving touchdowns to add on with it. So, just having Bucky Irving as a starting running back, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finished the season 5-12 according to Madden. Pretty rough year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right there. So, I don't think that's realistic at all. But this is a Madden simulation, so let's go ahead and see what the stats are. Baker Mayfield, 4,217 passing yards, 30 passing touchdowns with 20 interceptions. So that's part of the reason why they did so bad. They think Baker's like horrible for some reason. Bucky Irving ended up finishing the year with 928 yards. Not too bad. 5 rushing touchdowns. Yeah, that could be a little bit better, but it's not bad. 2 fumbles. It's not great, but it's not bad either. Honestly, pretty mid year from Bucky Irving. But mid is better than trash. So I guess Bucky Irving will take it. Definitely being a rookie in the league. I feel like he's definitely performed better in real life though. Mike Evans with 1,066 yards and 10 receiving touchdowns. Jalen McMillan with 897 yards, 5 receiving touchdowns. Also, guys, I don't think Chris Godwin's on here because of his current injury he has. Bucky Irving with 331 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. Now on to the season with just Rachaad White as the starting running back. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're able to get a win against the Washington Commanders in week 1. 13-7, pretty low scoring game. But it is still a win, so I mean, they'll take it. Jaden Daniels with 1 passing touchdown, 186 yards, 0 interceptions. Baker Mayfield with a rating of 78, 172 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, and 1 interception. 62 completion percentage for Baker Mayfield, and then Jay Daniels with a 79 completion percentage. Rushing, let's go check Rachaad White. So 17 attempts for 60 yards. That's not bad. Average about 3.5 yards a carry. Jaden Daniels, 7 rush attempts for 33 yards, 4.7 yards per carry. Mike Evans, 6 receptions, 64 yards and a touchdown. Jameson Crowder with 56 yards. Trey Palmer with 42 yards. Terry McLaurin with 48 yards. And the midseason point, with just Rachaad White as the starting running back in Madden's eyes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 5-2. So they go up from 5-2. With Bucky Irving, the midseason point, they're 2-5. And obviously, the next game will be against the Atlanta Falcons, just like the other season. But yeah, it's pretty cool how the record is reversed. I mean, you can definitely tell who Madden is favoring, even though Bucky Irving is a higher overall. He is at 81, and Rachaad White's is currently 79. But this is the midseason stats. Baker Mayfield with 1,592 passing yards, 11 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Baker Mayfield's not doing all that great in this simulation. He wasn't in the other one either, so apparently Madden just hates on Baker Mayfield. Rachaad White with 310 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. No fumbles yet, which that is good. Baker Mayfield 148 rushing yards with 2 rushing touchdowns. Sean Tucker with 3 rushing touchdowns. Mike Evans 384 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. Sterling Shepard with 3 receiving touchdowns. Cade Otton with 0 receiving touchdowns but 254 yards. And Rachaad White with 252 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. And you see Rachaad White get involved more in that pass game than Bucky Irving was. Jalen McMillan, 3 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown. So now it is the end of the season, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers end up making playoffs. They are finished with a 10-7 record. They're going to be facing the Atlanta Falcons in the first seed, or the first round of playoffs. So you see right there, they already did a lot better with Rachaad White. As a team, Madden says Rachaad White on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is a lot better fit. But Baker Mayfield didn't have a good year either. Again, so Baker Mayfield 3,750 yards, 25 passing touchdowns, and then 20 interceptions. The yards isn't that bad, but what is the touchdowns. That's a low amount of touchdowns. You at least want to get to around the 30 mark, and the interceptions, you do not want over 13 interceptions. That is bad. Rachaad White, he only got 704 yards on the ground, 5 rushing touchdowns. He did end up getting 1 fumble, but I mean, he could have got a little bit more rushing touchdowns and yards, but I do understand he's more of a receiving back. Baker Mayfield, 361 yards with 3 rushing touchdowns. Sean Tucker, 245 rushing yards with 7 rushing touchdowns. Looks like Sean Tucker was used a lot in the red zone. He got a lot of the red zone snaps compared to Rachaad White, apparently. Mike Evans, 901 yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. Sterling Shepard, 730 yards with 6 receiving touchdowns. Cade Otton with 646 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. Trey Palmer with 537 yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. And then Rachaad White ended up finishing the year with 437 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. So again, Rachaad White does get used a little bit more in that receiving game. So that's why his rushing numbers were a little bit on the weaker side compared to Bucky Irving. Overall, I think they all did the same. And they did around the same. It was very similar. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a team did a lot better. As you see right here, they made it all the way to the NFC Championship. Made it to the championship against the Philadelphia Eagles. They were not able to get a win against the Philadelphia Eagles, though. So the Eagles were the 2nd seed. The Buccaneers were the 4th seed. It was a 35-13 loss. So, again, the Eagles got 35. Buccaneers were able to put up 13. Only 13. Baker Mayfield with a passer rating of 107.4, 269 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. Baker Mayfield, 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception. Saquon Barkley, the man who is having an MVP candidate season, 70 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Rachaad White, 48 rushing yards off 12 attempts, so that's not too bad. Mike Evans, 5 receptions, 89 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Smith got 2 touchdowns. Jahan Dodson, 73 yards. AJ Brown, 56. Trey Palmer, 40 receiving yards. All right, guys, that's around another video. Make sure you go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below who do you think is better. I mean, obviously, both are pretty valuable for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense, but if I had to pick one, I kind of like Bucky Irving a little bit more. But comment down below who you like. They both are really good. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.